Bonaducci, life coach. Danny Bonaducci, life coach. He was a Hollywood star when he was just
All right, Danny Bonaducci, life coach. That's brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's see who's having a problem and how quickly I can help them. Let's go to John. Good morning, John.
How you doing?
Oh, good, buddy. What can I do for you?
Hi, I just started this new job about a month ago and haven't had that many problems, but these two guys like to crack comments about my weight all the time.
Is that true?
Yep, constantly, and I'm really not that big a guy. I mean,
Do you know
I'm
that
over-
that's actionable? You can't do that.
I know, it's sexual harassment, right?
I don't know that it's sexual harassment. It'll fall under the same umbrella as sexual harassment. That's completely actionable. Have you talked to the H&R department about that?
Not yet. See, I've tried to tell them to stop, like, the nice way, and then they kept it up, so then I wasn't so nice about it, and now I'm thinking I have to go back today, so I'm thinking...
Well, here's what I want you to do. First of all, I want you to, what's that line? Gird your loins. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds awesome. But here's what I want you to do. You don't need to do this. You're the winner. You can make this go wherever you want. But suck it up for the next couple of times and write down what time they made a weight remark to you 2 or 3 more times, and then go to the H&R department, because not only, they'll get fired or admonished at the very least, but you deserve better than that. I think that sexual harassment has kind of gotten out of control. You can't look at female coworkers. You can't, if you go by the parameters of what it says, you can't say nice sweater. And that's specific, because we all had to take sensitivity training. And in it specifically says you cannot look at a coworker, a female coworker of any age, young, old, and comment on her sweater. You can't. But and it's stupid. But this is downright hate as far as I'm concerned. Go back to work. Take it a couple more times. Jot down what time it happened. Goes to the H&R department. And not only will you get these cats fired, but if they don't do anything about it, you have action against your company, because you marked down what time and you did it and what time you went to H&R, and you'll be they'll take care of you financially speaking. Thank you, John, and I'm sorry that's happening, buddy.
Yeah, and you also said it a little bit in the beginning, but don't do anything.
Yeah, don't do anything.
These people.
He threw me a little bit when he said, and then I wasn't so nice about it. If you smack somebody, all the advice that I already know is coming is going to go right out the window, but he didn't. So do nothing but jot down what time it happened, go right to H&R. Always, and I don't mean you have to act on this, but stay the victim on this. They're calling you fat or whatever they're doing. Don't respond to that. You go to H&R department, you want to be clear. You want to be absolutely clear on what happened. So that's why I had to punch him. You're done when you punch. Don't do it.
800-252-1025. If you've got a question for the life coach, call that number now. And remember, you can change your name if you need to, lie about your name if you need to, or email if you're really shy. It's lifecoach@kzok.com. Sandy in Seattle, you're on with Danny.
Hey, Sandy.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What can I do for you this morning?
Well, I got some paperwork from Child Protection Services that is asking me general questions about my parents' upbringing, and have I noticed any violence? Have I been exposed to any abuse? Have I, and then what are they like now? Because my mother recently got married, and her husband has a granddaughter who was taken away from the mother.
Right.
And so they're...
Sorry to hear that, by the way, but right.
Yes, they're raising the granddaughter, and I can see the wonderful interaction after a little bit of difficulty and frustration. I can see the wonderful interaction between this little girl and my mother, but to be honest, on that piece of paper is not going to look good, because there have been lots of rage and lots of alcohol, and in the past, and not too long in the past.
All right. So what is your actual question for me?
Well, I don't know what to do, because I don't want the little girl to go to foster homes, and she's obviously thriving well.
I'm a bit confused. You have a piece of paper in your hand, and there are questions about your mother and your family upbringing?
Yes.
Why? Why does this piece of paper exist?
Oh, because there was an issue on whether my mother could be a foster parent because she had broken a protection order at one time with her other grandchildren.
You know, and this is an old boss. I've said this expression a couple of times. Every time I say it, people look at me like I'm insane. He used to say, "Oh, that has hair all over it." And can I tell you something? This has hair all over it. You got a new father in the house. You got, I think, a daughter over there. You got your mom who did or did not. I don't know what your mom did to be flagged by protection agencies. I don't love this. So here's the easy answer to this. And it's easy for me because I'm going to say it. And no matter how you feel about it, you did the right thing. On that piece of paper, tell the absolute truth. You can't get caught up. You know, whatever happens from there, happens from there. But also, if you're telling the truth and that's your truth and you put it down that there was, you know, as you put it, a lot of alcohol, a lot of rage, well, then you put it down in that order. But I would answer that piece of paper. Give yourself a day to think about it or whatever it's been. And then here's what will shield you. Here's your shield. The truth. Don't think, well, I want my mom to get this kid, so I think I better answer nope. Or I don't want my mom to get this, or I don't think a kid should come to my mom. Nope. You put down the truth. There's a reason that you feel this way about your mother, and they're asking you all the right questions. So just stay way honest, and you don't have to feel bad for 1 second. Good luck. I appreciate the call.
800-252-1025. Call that number right now.
Don't you hate how the truth will out eventually? Because it sounds so, you know, but really, tell the truth and you'll be fine no matter what.
800-252-1025. Call that number now if you've got a question for the life coach. Dave in Seattle is up next.
Hey, Dave.
Good morning, Mr. Bonaduce.
Good morning, Dave. What's up, buddy?
Hey, my daughter had a child about maybe 2 years ago, and she seems to be going through a little postpartum depression, and we finally got her to go talk to a counselor.
Right.
She had 2 sessions, and already this counselor's talking about putting her on medication.
Right.
And I think it's a bit, I think it's a little bit early for that. Can't you start talking? It seems like everybody prescribes a pill for everything right now, and they do it really quick.
I happen to agree with you, man, that I think the medication comes out really fast. I'm not an actual doctor. I know that lots of you are sitting in your house going, what do you mean you're not a doctor, Bonaduce? We all thought you were an actual doctor. But no, I am with you that the pills come out way too fast. Well, first let me ask you, what is the purpose of this phone call?
The purpose of the phone call was to see if I'm interfering with a professional, because I'm going to tell her I think it's a little early. Maybe she think about going to another counselor. This person can't even prescribe pills because they don't have a license to do that. So,
well, I will tell you this. As a person who has been on the couch for many, many a year, I've just recently, and I haven't done anything about it because there's no reason to go back, but I have never gone to a therapist. I've always gone to a psychiatrist because here's my theory. If the government doesn't give them a script pad, if the government doesn't trust them to give out drugs, then they're not a real doctor. And psychiatrists, and this might be news to some people, are actual MDs. I didn't know that. You're an MD, and then you keep going to school to get to be a psychiatrist. But counselors, it takes almost or just as long to become a therapist as it does to become a psychiatrist, because I was always making fun of them. Finally, a therapist came up and yelled at me. What are those therapists that begins with a P?
Psychoanalyst?
Psychoanalyst. You just can't do that. You got to have years and years and years and years of schooling.
So there's psychologists and psychiatrists
are
and
different
I can never
things
figure
completely.
out which one's which.
And the psychologist is often better. I still see a psychiatrist.
I'm going to a guy right now that he's the one that can't prescribe.
Right, and then he just calls a doctor and gets you meds.
Right.
My guy can prescribe. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't want to talk about it. So what are your feelings? What are your dreams last night? Why does your wife hate you? He's not into that. He goes, it's exactly what Dave said. Here's drugs right now. And I'm a fan of that, by the way, Dave. So you know what? I would not put the psychiatrist down and say, I want you to go to another psychologist, or put the psychologist down saying, you're not a real doctor. They're trained for years at a time. But if they've only seen your daughter twice, I'm with you that's really fast on the medication. Why don't, instead of, pulling your daughter away, because I don't know if she likes this person or not, but let's say she likes him and you pull this away, why don't you ask her, why are you giving my daughter drugs this early on? Where are you going to go with all this? Because you have a right. I mean, who's paying the bills on this, Dave?
Actually, her husband.
Okay, her husband. But as a
Medical
dad, I
examiner.
believe you have certain inalienable rights. I think you should talk to the therapist and find out where they're going and what symptoms make that guy make him want to give your daughter drugs. But I think you're right. The drugs are flying out way too fast. But remember, don't jump in the way of what could be a good thing for your daughter. Talk to the counselor and see why they're giving the drugs in the first place. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that.
Good luck to you, Dave. 800-252-1025 is always the number to talk to the life coach or email lifecoach@kzok.com. We have an email from Patrick in Puyallup who says,
Okay, we get time for an email.
I'm 60 and I've been looking for a job for 3 years. I've been temping. I'm a cabinet maker. I've sent out over 200 resumes in the last 2 years and had 50 interviews. When I go in, they look at me and say, well, why do you want to work?
Heads up, illegal. They can't do that. It's age discrimination.
Well, any suggestions? Because he's not getting these jobs.
You know what? It's such an undervalued skill. My father-in-law is a woodworker and one of my most cherished possessions. And I didn't even know he'd made it yet. I just knew it wasn't even fancy. It's nice. I thought it was colonial. I thought it was an antique. This chair he made us for our home.
Wow.
What a great skill to have. I don't know what to tell you on having people not knee-jerk. My mom was working till very least, and she's 90 now, but she was certainly working all through her 60s. And here's what it is. It's not a condemnation of you, man. It's not even, how bad are they for not looking past your age. It's a boss is looking at workers' comp. You're going to start getting sick. If it's not now, eventually, it's right around the corner for me. I'm 54. So that's what they're doing. I would, because I thought the same thing. Shame on me. Why are you still going on these auditions, man? You're 60. Nap, for God's sakes. You worked a long time. You paid into Social Security. But if you want to work, and I think you do, and I think most people do, you have a right. But remember what I said, and you're going to have to take action lightly here because you're going to have to prove this. But age discrimination is the same as sexual discrimination. It's the same as if they discriminate against you because you're gay. They can't do it. They can't look at you and say no. You've got to earn a no. So, you know what? I would hint around that because it's going to put a bad taste in somebody's mouth that you're throwing out the HR department already. But let them know you have a right to apply for that job. And let them know, and here's the thing, they always say this because there's a commercial campaign about older people going back into the workforce. The amount of time and experience that you're getting from a 60-year-old man who's good with his hands, you're indispensable as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna give you this advice. I know you don't want to hear it, but this is it. Keep hitting the street on this. You're gonna get the job because somebody's gonna recognize the great, the experiences that you have had. And I like the woodworking thing. I've let them know that I'm a woodworker. That's whatever the job is. I'd go on the interview for that job. I'd say, oh, and by the way, I make cabinets in my spare time. That's really good, and somebody's going to call for that. So keep at it. At 60, I'll bet you've heard that. But do it again. Do it some more until you get what you want.
This is Danny Bonaducci, Life Coach. And if you'd like to email, the email address is lifecoach@kzok.com. And, of course, 800-252-1025 is the phone number. Patricia in Kent has written an email. My son brought home his new girlfriend to meet us the other night.
And you hated her.
Well, I almost fainted when they walked in together.
Oh, I was kidding.
He didn't warn us at all. He is 21. She is 40.
All right.
I felt like I was in an episode of Cougars. I like to think of myself as open-minded, but I honestly don't get it. Can you help me understand what does a 40-year-old woman see in a 21-year-old boy?
I don't know, but reverse that question. I'll answer it for you. What does a 21-year-old boy see in a 40-year-old? Experience. There are things... I'm not making a joke. I just don't know how to put it. There are things a 21-year-old girl has never heard of that a 40-year-old has done a few times. It's exactly. You know what? I was just talking to a guy about age discrimination. Don't do that. I'm 23 years older than my wife. Her family, I don't know what they did when my name popped up. They'd heard of me and stuff, and you get all the stuff that used to happen. I mean, they've read the Inquirer. I would imagine they had a little coronary. But I walked in there ready to go. Presented myself in I was coiffed and my hair was brushed. And I had a nice pants on. And I said, yeah, this is me. This is what you're going to do. And by the end of the meeting, because I didn't do anything, the only thing I did was show up and wash my hands and look, I was all right. But I just showed a guy really interested, had their daughter's best interest at heart. I'm just guessing your age difference is not that far off from the 40-year-old. You might have some stuff to talk about. But however long it goes, don't let them get married. There's my call. Don't let them get married because this will become uninteresting to one of them fairly soon. And as long as they don't get married, as exciting for your son that it is, it'll eventually not be, just like all relationships. And that's when you hunker down and you get to know a person better and stuff like that. That's not going to happen with your son. He's going to wake up and go, ooh, she's 47 now, and I'm only 28. I don't think this is that good. So give this one time. It'll be fine. Let him go and play. It'll be very exciting. Hey, that's all the time for Danny Bonaducci, Life Coach I have. By the way, Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.